What is up, everybody? Today on Seth Leroy Hustle Adventures, you know what time of the week it is. It is time to go over how the week went. Now, this week was a thing. So many bids that just didn't go through, but we still made some money. We're gonna go over the numbers with you guys. My wife does all the figures. She keeps a rough estimate while I'm out, but this is when we break it down, it's right before we're about to tell you guys. But this was more of a struggle week, but that's what happens when you own your business and you don't go to, you know, the same old job every day. But then also, we had the choice where we're like, we're done. Let's just come home. So we've been hanging out, having a good time at home already, but without further ado, I'm gonna kick it off to Sarah. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. I'm back, like I never left, I wanted to first start out by saying we had our very first horrible, no good, very bad first week this week. It sucks to have a bad week just in general, but what sucks even worse is having to report it to a bunch of people on YouTube that, yeah, we had a really crappy, stupid, horrible week. I hate to tell you guys that. It would feel much better if we could keep this to ourselves and just suck it up and get over it, you know, on our own. Take some time to think about the bad, you know, things that we did, the mistakes we made, but we promised to be transparent with you guys, so here we are sharing all of our secrets, we're airing our dirty laundry on the internet. So anyways, I hope this helps you guys to know that it is possible in this industry where you're going to have a week where you're barely going to profit anything at all, and that's what happened to us. But luckily for us, you know, we came into this business with money in the bank. So, I mean, we're not going to be like struggling for crumbs for dinner or anything like that. So, I mean, that's at least a positive. And just so you know, you should have that too. When starting any business, when going into any business, you know, you don't want to go into it broke. And you always want to have money so you're not living, you know, from paycheck to paycheck, or so you get into a situation where you only made like a couple $100s in a week, like we did, and now you're wondering what you're going to do. So, you know, luckily we have security in our lives, or, you know, we're just secure enough to know that if anything happens, we got our own back. And that's definitely something you should have too. And another thing, though, is, you know, we're pretty good with money. And so the way we budget is that we base every month into 4 pay periods. So we add up all of our bills for everything that we'll ever need in a whole entire month, and we split it by 4. And out of all the money we get paid in each week, you know, that's always a week is always a fourth of our bills. So when you structure your budget like that, there's gonna be, if you're paid weekly, there's gonna be about 4 months out of the year where you'll have 5 pay periods, and wouldn't you know, God's got our back. And this month is a 5 pay period month, so that's at least good. So it basically allows us to call this week a wash and move on, because we have 4 other weeks this month where we can recuperate. So So like I said, there's 4 months out of the year, and where you have a 5-pay period month. For us this year, it will be March, June, September, and December. You can look on the calendar, look at your paydays, and see. Ours is usually a Thursday, and there's 5 Thursdays this month. So definitely pay attention to that sort of thing. And if you guys don't already have a budget, like a written budget, you definitely need to get one and pay attention to where you spend your money. Like in my phone in the notes section, everything that's in our checking account, I have it broken down like, okay, mortgage, groceries, food, electric, phone, insurance, down to Christmas, birthdays, savings, spending, like the list goes on. And every time we put money into our account, I divvy it up and I put it into each category, and every time we spend money, I deduct it from that category, so I can pull out my phone at any time and see what I have. I see, you know, how much is in my account, and each thing is delegated to a different thing. Probably getting a little bit off track, and I'm sorry if you're getting bored with all this, but I just you know, feel like I have to explain how, yeah, we had a bad week, but we budget, and it's a 5-pay period month. We have money in the bank, and it's gonna be all good. It just sucks, because obviously we want to make money, but it also just sucks for the ego. Like I said, having to tell you guys that we just sucked this week, like, I hate it, because I always, you know, we strive to be, just to do great things, and then when you have a week where it just doesn't go right, you feel like you're just a crappy worker or something, or someone, you know, who just can't get it together. I don't know, I just want to be perfect. That's all I want. But anyways, so I'll just get right into it. The first run this week was to Iowa. First mistake right there, going to Iowa. You know, we live in the Midwest, and we pretty much like to stay in Wisconsin, Chicago, Michigan, that sort of area. But we just ended up taking a run to Iowa, and you know, I had high hopes. I always want to be positive, and just thought maybe when we get to Iowa, you know, we'll get lucky. We never just, I don't feel like we ever just get lucky, you know? It's like we always have to go through hoops to like get good ones. Well, you guys probably don't think that, 'cause I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, how do you get those runs? How do you get those runs? Seth tells me everything you guys say, but I just feel like, you know, we never get to just wake up in the morning, get a run, go do it, have time enough, grab a second run, go do that. Like, how is that so hard? How do people get runs so early in the morning to be able to pick up another one like the same day, you know? Is it because you just like bid low in the morning and then you get it, and then maybe, okay, then you'll just take the second run, maybe for a little bit lower than most people because you've already had one today, and then therefore like you're making more money than you would have if you just would have taken just one run for the day. I feel like we don't end up getting a run until like late afternoon or into the evening, and I'm kind of getting sick of that. I don't know. I feel like there's a better strategy to all this. But anyway, so the first one was to Iowa. If we knew that we'd be driving to Chicago the next day after getting to Iowa, then we probably should have bid more, because where he dropped off, and it was in Burlington, Iowa. And he ended up sitting there for a little while before he just decided to say screw it so he could get to Chicago at a good time. So he drove from Iowa to Chicago, basically deadheaded. So the run from Minnesota to Burlington, Iowa ended up being 468 miles because he had to deadhead to Chicago. So 468 miles, he ended up getting $400 for that. Deadhead should have definitely been taken into consideration when bidding that. And I don't know if Seth has told you, but I've been kind of working with the dispatching company that he has been going through, like trying to learn how to be a dispatcher. There's so much to take into consideration and to learn when you're becoming a dispatcher, and like, I don't know, it's definitely a hard job. So I actually ended up bidding on that one for him because, you know, they were just like, oh yeah, do you want to get him running, you know, just to practice. And I bid on that one. And they actually ended up, the brokers ended up talking me down by $25 on that one. And I think that run should have been like $75 more or something at least. I don't know. So anyways, yep, like I said, he ended up after Iowa driving to Chicago. He drove to one spot. I call Illinois Chicago, but I should just start calling it Illinois because Chicago isn't the only place in Illinois, but I just say Chicago. I get the two confused. But anyway, so he ended up driving to one place in Illinois and then another place. And then he finally ended up getting a run out of Cicero. Is that how you say that? And that was a run from Cicero to Groveport, Ohio. And so basically with all the running around, the deadheading before and after, that ended up being like 567 miles that he got for $465. And I just want to remind you guys again that when I say the mileage for these things, that wasn't the actual mileage of the run. That was because, okay, when I go through and while he's running, like when he stops at a place, like when he delivers and then he goes to the next place to stop, to wait, I count that in the mileage. And then when he picks up and goes to the next place, then I count that into the mileage. So if he has to move around a bunch, that's just configured into the total mileage that I tell you guys. So he ended up moving around so much that this run ended up being 567 miles. They got for $465 basically. So that's that. And then after he got to Ohio, there was nothing in Ohio that he could get. So many, I mean, I think he had a few, but he just didn't win them. I don't know what was going on. I don't know, but he just couldn't win any of them. So he ended up having to drive to Michigan, where he got, yeah, he drove from Ohio to Michigan just to see if he could get something, which probably I added the miles to the last run I told you, which is why it was 567 miles for $465. But he did end up getting one in Michigan. It was just a quick local gig in Michigan. This one I said it was 261 miles from running around and stuff. That was for only $200. And then that was all he got that day. I don't even know what day this was because the whole time he was sitting around or deadheading, not getting anything, I was like mentally stressing out. Like usually I'm on a diet and like I didn't stick to my diet at all this week. I was just so stressed out. That's the excuse I gave myself, I guess. But I was so stressed out this week. I had like a pit in the bottom of my stomach like the whole time because I was watching time dwindling by, and I was, you know, he was deadheading everywhere, not getting anything, and I just could see money just slipping away. So basically, this whole time was spent deadheading and wasting money on gas. And then when he would finally get one, he only got 3 runs. It, you know, didn't profit a lot because of having to drive everywhere. And then he actually ended up deadheading home from Michigan because he couldn't get anything else. Time was running short. We like him to be home by at least Friday afternoon so that we can spend some time together, because I work Saturdays. I worked today. So, you know, it really sucks for me when he comes home at the end of the week and then I have to leave to go to work. So we like to have one day where we just like can hang out for at least 6 hours or something. So we just said, you know what, if you could wake up Friday morning in Michigan and literally get nothing again, and then you would have wasted your whole day. We wouldn't get to see each other, and you know what, it's just been a shit week, so just come home. I just told him, just come home. We'll take it as a wash, you know, and just start over next week. So anyways, our dispatcher told us that there's a few reasons why this week could have been such a bad week. For one, March is a slow month anyways for this industry. His dispatcher was showing him weeks out of March for previous years. And yeah, you can definitely see for the dispatcher too that March has consecutively just been awful. And another reason that his dispatcher told him that he could have been having trouble this week was because the main U.S. expediting company got hacked this last weekend, so they weren't able to be up and running. So I don't know. People were just taking bids for so low, I feel like. And I feel like we should have just adjusted and brought the bids down lower to be able to match what other people were probably getting them for. And I don't know if the Midwest was like saturated at all, but I just feel like people were scrambling, just trying to get whatever they could for, you know, just a good enough price to just make some money. And I wish we would have done that too. If we would have just bid lower and taken things for a lot lower, at least we would have made money in a day than just like sitting around waiting for like something. I don't know. It's just irritating. But I wanted to ask you guys if you had, you know, if you work in this industry, this last week, did you guys experience a bad week too? Has it been slow for you? This first week of March, I'm just really hoping and praying that like we can stay on track for this month. Now when we come back, we can start fresh and actually make money. I mean, even if it's just the minimum, because the minimum that we need to make each week is like $800. Like, I would have been fine if we would have just made $800 freaking dollars, but it was so bad. I don't even want to tell you how bad. Well, I mean, if you were adding up how much, as I was saying, I mean, you know how bad it was. So the total for all the runs all together added up being $1,065. $578 of that, $578.01 was spent on gas and food. $97.40 is being set aside for savings and taxes. Because this is a bonus week this month, we don't need to set any money aside for insurance, which we're not going to be able to. So we're going to deposit $389.59 into our checking account. And that's not even our minimum, but luckily, yeah, like I've said over and over this month, that we have 4 more weeks left to make what we need to make for March. So I'm really hoping that it happens. So, yeah, out of that $389, just the way I'm going to do it is that we need groceries this week. Because groceries is something that gets, you know, weekly. So we spend $160 on groceries a week. I have to put my $17 aside for Christmas this week. Some of that will be gas. And then we're going to need to spend some money. So the rest is just going to be for spending money. So yeah, that's that. Hate to tell you guys, but that's what happened. We've all had horrible, no good, very bad weeks, I'm sure, in whatever it is that you guys do or have done in the past or in this now. I don't know, but I'm just praying, yeah, we can recuperate and get back on track for the rest of the month of March. So, yeah, I want to tell you guys too, I usually drop these videos every Saturday. Saturday evenings after I come home from work and I have dinner, I record these videos so I'm not hangry and, you know, I got work out of the way and stuff like that. So I can go through our business account as well, make sure that all of the gas stuff is processed from the business account, because then I go through and I add up exact numbers of what was spent on gas and everything, and then I can deduct from, you know, the total amount and get you guys a real number of how much was spent, because as he's going, you know, as he's driving and he gets bid for a job, you know, I go, okay, Google directions from Cicero, Illinois to Groveport, Ohio, you know, and I'll give you the mileage, and then I'll go fuel cost calculator on Google, and then I'll go and I'll put in the mileage at, like, you know, the miles per gallon that his van gets or whatever is like 13 on average, and then the cost of gas I just always say is like $3.50. I think I put $3.55 lately, just because it's been a little different here and there with the prices of gas going up, which I am not excited for that. I don't know what's even going to happen with gas, but I really hope that the price of jobs goes up. You know, I think Seth said something about his dispatcher saying in all the years he's been driving, the price of gas has gone up, but the amount you get for doing the jobs really hasn't gone up with the price of gas. So, oh man, are we in for it? I'm hoping not, but yeah, does everyone want to pray with me right now? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I feel like I was saying something, but I lost track of thought, or I was going to say something, and now I don't remember. But it has been one of those weeks. I'm just a little scatterbrained and everything. But, yeah. That's it. Tomorrow, we're going to spend the day forgetting about this whole entire week, and we're going to go have fun as a family, and we're going to hang out tonight, watch some shows, and just be happy to be together, and thankful we're all together, and money isn't everything, and, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Can't change it. We can just only hope to do better. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching my videos as I sit here in my Christmas pajamas, telling you all that went down. And, you know, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Isn't that something they all say? And I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about our no good, very bad, horrible week. So anyway, I hope you all have a good week next week, and I hope I can come back next week with a better report for you. Yeah, I will catch you then. Bye.